All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kiara Clark with the IPAWS Lab, and today you have joined the demonstration of CivicReady, now powered by AlertSense. The reason for these demonstrations is that we've been getting a lot of questions from alerting authorities asking of different tools and their capabilities. So we're hosting these live demonstrations, allowing the vendors to answer these questions themselves.
Yeah, join by browser, Russ. You go in, it'll say join by browser.
Let me just mute the attendees. All right, so again, we're demonstrating, CivicReady is going to demonstrate their software now powered by AlertSense. I'm just going to go through some slides really quick. So you've all joined the WebEx. So you have the instructions there for joining. We've all already successfully done that. This is going to be a brief demonstration, allowing the last 10 minutes of the demonstration for questions and answers. And you can post your questions in the chat, and they will be answered accordingly in the order that they were received. The webinar is recorded, and will be available on the website at a later time. And you can request a copy of this webinar at justin.singer@fema.dhs.gov with the subject line of webinar presentation request. And I'm just going to read the legal disclaimer because us as a FEMA office, we cannot endorse any software. So I'm required to read this disclaimer. The Integrated Public Alert and Warning System, IPAWS, vendor demonstrations are intended to increase state and local emergency management agencies' awareness of vendor products and IPAWS capabilities. The webinar provides an overview of the interoperability of these systems with IPAWS Open and will include vendor presentations of their products. FEMA IPAWS Program Management Office encourages and facilitates this discussion of products and tools, but it does not endorse any specific vendor product. This webinar is for educational purposes only. Again, we are hosting a demonstration for CivicReady, now powered by AlertSense. We have presenting today Annette Hammonds, Jillian Algier, and you can email any additional questions that we're not able to get to at the end of the demonstration directly to them. So again, any additional questions related to the software, and go email directly to them. And without further ado, I will make Annette Hammonds the presenter. And Annette, you can begin to share your screen now.
Okay, awesome. Well, welcome everybody, and thank you for attending. This is Annette Hammonds. I am the implementation consultant with CivicReady. And of course, just as she said, we're going to be going through a demonstration of the IPAWS functionality of our software, which is now powered by AlertSense. I do want to let you know that just for some clarification, that CivicReady, of course, has partnered with AlertSense, and CivicReady utilizes the functionality of our third-party partner, repackaged and optimized for local government use. Civic Plus maintains an exclusive agreement with AlertSense to sell to local government, of course. And just for clarification, we do have Melody Groner from AlertSense on the call also. And for current AlertSense clients, all support and everything with current AlertSense clients will remain with AlertSense. So yeah, we've got somebody from Alert Sense here also, and we're excited to present. Okay, so as you can see, I've got my screen up currently, and this is the login into IPAWS portion of CivicReady powered by Alert Sense. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get logged in. Prove I'm not a robot. There we go. Okay. So when you first log in, you do land, of course, on the dashboard. As you can see from the dashboard, you have an immediate button to send messages. You have the ability to see your COGS in your certificates and get an immediate update on their connection status, update your COG profile, and have visibility into the expiration date. You also have a section for recently sent alerts, so you are able to view and see those. So from here, I want to talk about a few of the different components of the system, and then we'll get into how, of course, how to send a message. So of course, dashboard messages, you can of course send your public message and also create a cog-to-cog message. Reporting, your feed and sent history, admin configurations. So this is a feature that is newer in the system, even for us. But you actually do have the ability to see all of your IPAWS permissions for your COGS. You can also go into each individual user, and as an example, I can come in here and I can see specifically what alerting permissions an individual has, and if I only want to grant them permission to a specific area. So as an example, if I temporarily only want to allow admins to have access to send demo messages until they have been onboarded, you now have the ability to limit that or to adjust also their roles within the system. From here, of course, you have access to the support information, important, a link to your IPAWS message viewer. So when you're sending those monthly proficiency demonstrations, you can go directly to that link in order to ensure that your message has gone out successfully. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to send a message to the demo environment. So from here, I'm going to come in and click on Create Public Message. And you do have the ability to have templates within the system. Templates, of course, you can review it and modify it before you send it out and can help to speed up, of course, the messaging process. From here, of course, you can also just write a straight brand new message if you would like to also. So you do have the ability to start from the very beginning too. For this demonstration, I am going to be utilizing a template, specifically this one that I've created for a civil emergency message. But kind of moving through here, the first section with message type, of course, this is set to the demo environment. So this is going to the testing environment and will not be sent out as a live IPAWS message. From here, if I wanted to switch it over to a live IPAWS message, you can see that there is a very pointed visual differentiation of when you are sending a test message versus when you are sending a live message. So no question on if this is going out to a real endpoint or to a test environment. So again, test is blue and live is bright red, telling you that this is the live system. There is also an additional safeguard right before you send the message, and we'll talk about that when we get to the bottom of the screen. Okay. So from here, I've selected and populated in my template the demo environment. Of course, you can have EAS, WIA, and your non-weather emergency messages available to select. This cog, of course, is only has EAS and WIA, so those are selected. From here, we have our message event types, WIA handling codes, which will populate based, of course, upon the event type that you're selecting, the response type that you are able to select, your duration. So, of course, you can modify that for how long that WIA will be broadcasting out. And then for simplifying, populating, and configuring your IPAWS notifications, we do have hidden and pre-populated these change advanced cap fields. So you do have the ability to expose these by checking this box and making modifications to them if needed and wanted, such as adding additional cogs to send messages to. But for the message that you're creating, they are pre-configured. So it's not required to go in there and modify them. And that will help, of course, to speed up the messaging process. Moving on down, we do have our sections to build out an EAS and a WIA notification, because that is what we have selected to send. So as you can see, I've got my event headline. You may have noticed next to all of these fields, I do have additional information that gives me further detail on what I'm filling out. We have our event description, recommended instructions, and then we have for EAS a full example of what that scrolling alert will look like, what this information will look like as it's broadcast. You do also have the ability to preview the text-to-speech for the EAS. You also have the ability to upload a file if you wish to for your EAS notification. And you can see cap to EAS translation. So although the preamble is visible and you are able to see that populated into the message. Moving on down to your WIA message, you can see, of course, you got your short WIA message of 90 characters or less. And if you do choose to send out a long WIA message for those phones that are capable of receiving it, you can also create your long WIA message. You also have exact previews of what it will look like when it is received by the recipient on their phone. Now, I want to come back up here real quickly. You do have the ability, of course, to send a Spanish notification. And with that, when you come in and paste in your text, if you have pulled it, say, from Google Translate or anything, let me come on in. I'm going to do this real quick. Take my information for my Spanish message. If I bring it in there, the system will automatically clear out those accented and non-printable characters, so it ensures that your message will not fail. So it will automatically adjust the message, removing those accents and tildes so that your message is able to go through appropriately. Okay, so again, EAS, WIA, our previews. And then down towards the bottom, of course, you can have your target area for sending out your WIA notification. You'll name your area description, And you can come in and add a shape. Now I have this pre-selected because I added it to my template, but I can come in and add a shape if I wanted to. Now from here, of course, I have my drawing tools over on the right-hand side. Maybe I just want to draw a square to select my area. There is a point counter, so I can make sure that I'm not going over that 100-point limitation. I also have the ability to see where cellular towers are located. So I do have the ability to ensure, maybe I need to make sure that for my WIA notification to go out appropriately, maybe I need to adjust my shape to ensure that I am including a cellular tower. I then would come in and select my appropriate FIPS code. Again, that is going to be dependent, of course, with what you've been approved for alerting.
Wendy's, sir.
And then going from there, when I go to send, again, you can see right here with the difference between it being a test versus a live event or live notification. You can see send test alert. If I had selected the live certificate, then this would say send live alert. And then in addition to that, if I click on send test alert, here, yeah. So this will provide you a preview of the alert that you're sending. And then the additional kind of protection from you sending out a test versus a live alert is that you do have to type either test or live to ensure that that message, you're confirming if it is going out to the correct environment. So I've typed it in my test and I can click on send yes, send test alert. From there, you can see I have my message, have all of my reporting. We can see that it's successful. Message content and geographic area.
And we're also going to confirm here in the lab, you can see that the message was successfully sent to the lab via the TV. You can see the scroll of the message, and also in a second here, you'll be able to hear the audio as well.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Yep.
From here also, of course, you can cancel your alert. So to stop broadcasting that notification, you can resend your alert and then also have your updated alert too. Going back into the dashboard, we can see that on my dashboard, I have my notifications and where, when that notification was sent. Okay. Kiara, is there anything else that you would like me to share at this moment, or are we good to go ahead and transition over to?
No, that was
Q&A?
great. And we are just at the 20-minute mark. So at the time, if anyone has any questions, you can put them in the chat and I'll answer them in the order that they are received. I'm reading now. Just 1 second, Annette. So one person is asking, can you use a shapefile for the target area?
So no, not at this time. Of course, will be limited to your specific alerting area. But you do have to draw your required shape. Part of that is, of course, a shape file can include over 100 points.
And another question, Annette, I'm sorry, someone's asking for the IPAWS open status. I guess the status of the message, are you able to view that on the tool itself?
So I think I might need a little bit more clarification. I wonder if they're referring to the IPAWS message viewer for the test environment. Are they wanting me to potentially pull that up so that we can see that information?
I think the question might be, are we able to view the message on the message viewer? And if that is the case, I'll pull up the message viewer here. I'll share my screen.
Okay.
And this is the message viewer for your COG ID. And the message that we just sent here in the lab is there. And we confirm the receipt via the message viewer. There's a WIA green tag for that and EAS as well in the public text. So I think that answers that question.
Yes.
And again, if you guys have any additional questions, let me pull up the screen with you guys' contact information. Any additional questions regarding the software, you can contact them via these email addresses. I'll just leave them there for a second.
I'm seeing the IPAWS message viewer right at this time.
Annette, were you able to see my screen just now?
No, ma'am. I was seeing the TV broadcast. Oh, there is the slide.
Okay. So again, with any additional questions, you guys can email either Annette, Jillian, or Janelle Flynn with any additional questions regarding CivicReady. And I'm just checking for any additional questions before I stop the recording. So we have one question here, Annette, that says, can we continue to use CivicReady platform? The CivicReady platform versus the AlertSense.
So we are currently in a migration to the new CivicReady. If you are a current client and do have any questions, I recommend that you contact Janelle Flynn and she can provide you additional information. She'll be able to talk to you about the migration and getting all of those pieces scheduled.
All right. All right, I think that's it. Thank you, Annette and Jillian and Melanie I'm going to stop the recording now.